Joey Breaux. Joey, do you want to sit down or you want to stand up and do this, man?
We sit down.
All right, let's come up here, sir. Yep, you take this one, I'll take this one over here. Thanks everybody for coming over. Joey Breaux, look, I'm a big fan, obviously. I got his shirt and everything else. I am Bushy from the Plug Podcast, Music and More with Bushy and Metal Mike. It's an honor to be here with you, buddy. I swear to God. I gotta know, whatever possessed you at your age, you know what? I love karaoke so much. I'm just going to put myself out there, man, and I give a damn what anybody says. What even started this whole journey for you?
I started about 10 years ago, just entertaining people on Facebook before they had Instagram or TikTok, to me it's just like a hobby. I started out as a hobby doing it,
Now, how much of your time is it taken up now? Because you've gone from doing your karaoke videos, and you're giving life advice, you're giving fishing videos, you're showing what you're eating, those kinds of things, how to eat, telling people to go to the gym, trying to be health conscious. I mean, when did it start to blossom? You realize, hey man, people are starting to follow me. People are really taking an interest. Maybe I should do a little more than the karaoke. What brought that about?
Yeah, well, I'm doing a lot of cameos too. You left that out.
Oh yeah, my bad. You can get them on Cameo.
Yeah.
That's a hint, baby.
Yeah. But, it's to me it's interesting, and it does take a little work to stay up with it, because I'm always busy. I don't stop doing stuff, I'm up there in age, but I got a lot of energy.
Absolutely.
And I feel like I'm 40, so that's a good thing,
Yeah.
And I like to have people look forward to that when they get older, just to try to hold back on your age. Don't think about it. Forget the birthday, be you, and live your life. You got one. Okay.
That's a fact. That's great advice. When you're showing your meals, I've noticed you're a lot of protein, real low on the carbs and such. I've noticed avocado and boiled eggs are some of your favorite things. What are some other things you really like? Like when you put it out there to your fans, what is it you would recommend, like first thing in the morning? This is the Joey Breaux breakfast. This is what you're going to have. This is going to start your day. This is going to get you all the way through it, whether you're working a 8, a 10, a 12, a 16. What is your secret to all this energy? Because I'm 50 years old and I have half of your energy.
Well, diet means everything, Make sure you don't, if you do, you can do some carbs, you can eat a little sweets. You don't have to suffer, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
But you got to be able to burn that off too, that you take in. So, if you're going to eat bread that day, don't eat no candy bar, You already got your carbs out of the bread, okay, or the rice you ate with the beans, okay? So, just don't keep adding to it, and that way it ain't so hard to burn it. You burn it off. But you do need to exercise. You need to do something. Go walking or dancing is a good way to get rid of it.
I am so glad you talked about the dancing. If I only had your hips, my brother. How does it feel for you when you're just up there dancing and doing your thing?
It's just it's the vibe I get. Your heart's into the music. You just release it. That's all.
Just let it loose, huh?
Let it loose.
Now
Don't be shy.
It's interesting because you're here at RockNPod. I'm here every year. You're not a rock star. That's fair to say, right? We're not being rude there, but you are definitely
a shining star.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. You are the definition of internet famous. You have blown up big. RockNPod. I've seen you do an awful lot of rock and roll covers. You just graced us with some Billy Idol. You tore up the stage last night with some ZZ Top, man. I really enjoyed that. What was the first thing you ever got into rock and roll, as far as rock and roll music goes? Like, what was the band that you were like, shit, that's my stuff?
Back when I was younger in my teens, it was Kiss, Aerosmith, Rush, and they're legends, okay?
Absolutely.
And we can't let that die, man. I try to bring it back, okay? So I don't want people to forget what was the real rock legends and what we can learn from and keep that music coming. If they could just learn off of these guys, you know, Bon Jovi, Def Leppard, and,
right,
you know, Aerosmith for sure.
Yeah. That's absolutely right. I'm glad you said that. One of the things that this event tries to do, us podcasters are the one that tries to keep this music alive. You're doing it in a much different way, but damn, you're doing it right. You're doing it right. I thoroughly enjoy it. It puts a smile on my face. Let's address something real quick because these people, frankly, they piss me off. You get a lot of hate on the internet. And that kind of leads back to my original question. You know, when you put yourself out there like that, you open yourself to it. How do you deflect that? How do you deal with it? How do you not let it say, you know what, screw these guys, they're right, I'm done? How do you just avoid all that negativity and just keep rising?
Stay away from the comments, you know, and just watch the little numbers on the followers, watch them keep going up.
Isn't it interesting that in the internet age, haters can make you popular?
Yeah, you know, they're promoting me actually, you know, when they do that, which, you know, I love my haters, you know. Those haters that might hate, you know, everybody's got them.
Right.
I'm not the only one. Now, if they actually met me in person, they would absolutely change their mind. And even some on the internet would actually apologize after they got to see so many of my videos, you know.
Right.
And knowing they made a mistake, you know. And I think they need to respect the freaking elders anyway.
Oh,
you know
thank you so much for saying that. That's a lost art this day and age. Now, when you're sitting at home, and you're from Louisiana, is that right?
Right.
Okay. You go to your favorite fishing hole, what exactly are you looking for? Because I want to cover on everything you cover in your videos, man.
Yeah, well, I like to fish bass, you know. I do it, you know, just for the sport. And I don't eat them, you know, I turn them loose, you know, just catch them, you know. But where I live, you know, we got the Chaffalaya River. Man, there's some catfish in there. I'll take those home. Yeah.
Now, do you noodle or you just?
No, I ain't sticking my hands in the water like that. Not where I'm at. No, I ain't getting in the water. Not out there where I'm at.
Well, you got a gator problem there. I've seen a few of your videos where you're kind of pointing them out that you'll see them. They're just sitting there waiting.
Yeah.
How do you react to that? I live in North Carolina. We don't have a gator issue. I have to watch out for copperheads and things of that nature.
Yeah.
But now you got a big freaking descendant of the dinosaurs hanging out. How do you handle them when you see them? Do you give them a wide berth? Are they like anything else? Don't move too much. That's just a genuinely curious question in case I'm ever down that way.
The alligators are more scared of you than you are of them. But, you know, if you ever get up on one, you know, just stay away from the side of him because he'll come and he'll get you.
Yeah, we don't want that.
Yeah. So he's a wild animal. I mean,
well, how do your friends and family feel about what you're doing here, what's going on with you, and how your star is rising?
My family loves it, man. You know, I got a lot of cousins that are rooting for me, and just they know who I am.
Right. Well, they know the real you. They don't know just the internet.
They know the real me, yeah.
And what I like about you, and I try to tell this to people that come to this event to meet, especially the podcasters. What you hear online isn't always what you get in person, but a lot of what you see online is what you get in person.
Right.
Every interaction I've had with you, I've tried to speak with you a few times since I've come in and since I've met you, just so that you knew, hey, you know, I'm a big fan. And I got to say, you seem like a very genuine person. I don't see any, for lack of a better term, I don't see any bullshit in your eyes.
Right.
You know, what is it that you hope to leave behind? You know, to future generations. I know that when I'm gone, my daughter can listen to my silly podcast. She can watch my silly podcast on YouTube, and she'll be able to connect. And it's something I can't do with my dad because he wasn't into this thing. Is that one of the things you're kind of hoping to leave behind? Or?
Well, I got enough footage and videos that that'll go a long time out there, y'all. So if I'm gone, you know, you still have that, you know. So I'm leaving something behind there, you know.
That's good. That's good. If you could play with any band, any artist, and I don't care if it's rock and roll, I don't care if it's heavy metal, I don't care if it's country, it's the blues, who would be your dream to get up on stage with or just jam a song with?
Billy Idol is one of my, you know, greatest, and which there's several bands I would like to get up there with, you know, because there's many of them.
Sure. Okay.
Yeah, that's a hard call right there. Yeah.
How did Cuckoo come about?
Well, Cuckoo, Steve Wilson, he reached out to us, you know, and wanted me to be in his video, and we said, why not?
Nice.
Yeah.
Now the nunchuck thing, I know that you have a prototype, you have your own brand of nunchucks coming out, is that correct?
Right.
Outstanding. Where did that come from? Because most of us knuckleheads, we start whipping those around, we've got welts on our head and we throw them back down.
Yeah, well, when I was growing up, you know, where I'm from, I was actually born in that city. They had people trying to take over the sidewalks on the streets, pushing people off, you know, and say, you can't walk the sidewalk. So I had two of my buddies, we took the sidewalk and we changed their mind. I put it that way. We're taking our sidewalks back. You don't do that to people. So if you're not going to give us respect, we're going to take it.
Right.
And that's how I look at it.
And that's where the nunchucks came into play? You just started fooling with them? I mean, are you a Bruce Lee fan? I mean...
Yeah, I've seen a lot of Bruce Lee's movies and stuff, you know, and I can see myself, you know, kind of following his footsteps in a way. I do have a lot of speed behind me.
Right.
So, you know, and I'm very strong for my size.
Right.
I believe I proved that the other day with a football player at the gym.
Yeah.
So, and he's 28 years old. And, yeah, I wouldn't underestimate small people like myself. I wouldn't.
Well, that's
You know,
that kind of goes back to the old Richard Pryor thing, you know. Ain't no young person going to make a reputation off of me. You don't mess with anybody who's got some age on them.
I always had this saying here, it ain't the size of the man in the fight, it's the size of the fight that's in the man.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
It's funny because of all the things you could have picked up, knife, we're in the South, gun. You're like, you know what? Nunchucks. That's what I want, nunchucks. I got to know where the nunchucks were. What made you decide to start working with those? Because that's, like I said, I tried when I was younger. I studied a little Jeet Kune Do when I was a kid. I tried the trucks. Black eyes, swollen head for a week. I never picked them up again.
Well, to me it was an art, you know, and I made my own when I was younger, you know, in my teens, and it's an art. I mean, when you see martial art movie or something back in those days, they was using them. Bruce Lee used them, you know.
Right.
I said, that's pretty cool. You know, he's taking out 10 or 12 guys with these things.
Yeah.
So, you know, I can see that, you know. And I know the power behind those sticks, you know. They're solid wood, hickory or red oak. And they're lethal.
Right.
I mean, if you strike somebody's head, you know, they're done.
Yeah.
I mean, you know, it'll blow up. The speed I have with it, you know, it'll explode. It'll freaking hit. So
that is just great.
Yeah.
Because you featured the nunchuck use in the Cuckoo video.
Yeah.
You know, and for those of you that don't know, Cuckoo is a country song. Find the video on YouTube. Anywhere you stream music videos, you can definitely find that, featuring Joey Breaux. It's great stuff. I thoroughly enjoy it. You get to see him doing some chucking. Also on your TikTok, Instagram, all the socials, you work with the nunchucks quite a bit on there. I'd say at least once a week we see a nunchuck video, you know, along with your fitness things and just your life lessons. I like when you're sitting down just looking at the camera. Looks like you're sitting in your easy chair at the house. Just kind of, hey, this is what I've seen over my years. What's that like, just to impart wisdom? Because this generation coming up, they don't like to listen to wisdom a lot. You make it very easy. I don't know if it's because you are an older person, because you have a very easy tone about you, you're very laid back. I think you give great advice with a twist of humor. Would that be right?
Yeah, you got to have a sense of humor, you know, and you got to be something that'll catch their attention, you know. Could be your voice, could be your, and all the things that you do, you know, involved in the social media, you know. And if I can make an impact on people, and I see where I've changed people's lives, you know, just they look at me like, wow, man, you helped me in many ways, you know, giving me confidence, and you know, and that makes me keep pushing and going on. You know.
That's great, because I've noticed lately I'm seeing some imitators. It doesn't seem genuine to me. When I watch your videos, and I'm sure everyone can agree, what we're witnessing seems very genuine. You're having a great time. You're doing your thing. I've seen a guy that I wouldn't even like to share his stuff. He was wearing like underwear and just trying to be as bad as he could be. Like what you're doing is a shtick. And I want people to understand that what you're doing is not a damn shtick. That kind of annoys me because I read your comments. I'm glad you don't. I read them, and it makes my blood boil.
Right.
Okay. So what would you say to people like that about, oh, look at him, he's doing that shtick?
Yeah, well, you know, a lot of us are jealous people. They're trying to use you also to get somewhere on social media because they don't have a game, okay? So they'll use somebody else's game, you know, and they still don't get nowhere. That's the funny part. That's why I don't need to, you know, read the comments.
Yeah, stay out of those. It's a volatile, vile place, Joey.
Yeah.
Like I said, I read them plenty enough for you, and I get super angry enough for you. You don't have to go into that sludge hole.
Yeah.
If you had anything to garner from here, what would you tell these folks here at RockNPod that may not have discovered your videos, may not have discovered, you know, who you are and what you're all about?
They need to go to joeybreauxofficial.com and you can check out everything I have involved, you know, the merchandise and everything. We have a table right back here too, you know, and so it's a pretty good show, and it's going to keep going.
I'm looking forward to it. I'm with you to the end, brother. I'll tell you that right now. Make sure you get back there to Joey Breaux' merch table. He'll take a picture with you. He's a good guy. He's real easy to talk to. And if I understand, you're going to do one more song for us. Is that right?
We could probably do that. Yeah.
All right. Well, what do you say we do one more song? Joey Breaux, thank you so much, man. I appreciate you so much. I've been looking forward to this for a minute, let me tell you.
It's been fun.